Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss a beautiful story of class 10th and ninth or ninth and 10th. Okay, that is from your treasure trove. Okay, that is from your treasure trove. That is the name of the story is An Angel in Disguise. Okay, now this is written by T.S. Arthur. The name of the poet who wrote this, the name of that fellow is T.S. Arthur. Okay, so before going through the story, this particular story, let's understood the title of the story. Means this title of the story is very strange, isn't it? This is very much means we know an angel. Okay, but what is in disguise? What is the meaning of this? Okay, so an angel, we know that it is a fairy. Okay, angel is known as fairy. In disguise, what is the meaning of disguise? So disguise means in a form of human. Okay, in a form of. Okay, so in a form of human there is a angel. In a form of human there is an angel. Okay, so who is an angel in the story? Who is the main character of the story? So the main character of this following story is a girl. Okay, a girl is the main and she is the mandatory character of this particular story. The name of, as you can see in the picture here, this girl is the main person, or this girl is a main poster in the all story. Okay, so the name of this girl is Maggie. Okay, what is the name of it? Her name is Maggie. Okay, so let's understood who wrote this. This is written by T.S. Arthur. Okay, T.S. Arthur is known as Timothy Shay Arthur. Okay, this fellow is also known as Timothy Shay Arthur. Okay, and he was born in Newburgh. Okay, he was born in Newburgh, which is situated in New York on 6th June 1809. Okay, and he died on 6 March 1885. Okay, so he is the Timothy Shay Arthur, this fellow, who wrote this beautiful story and heart touching story, An Angel in Disguise. Okay, so this all entire story is surrounded by a beautiful and a girl, that is Maggie. She is Maggie, who is physically ill. Okay, who was physically ill. Okay, she was physically ill. Okay, so what is the disease she had suffering from, and what all the things that understood by the story, following story. Okay, so let's understood the summary of the story, An Angel in Disguise. Okay, means uh, if I told you in Hindi this particular topic, this particular title of the story, so परी के भेष में एक भैरूपिया, इफ आई यूज टू से इन हिंदी इट. ओके, मीन्स परी के भेष में एक कौन था? एक भैरूपिया, एन एंजल इन डिस्गाइज. ओके, देयर इज अ स्ट्रेंजर इन अ फॉर्म ऑफ fairy. Okay, so this is the story of a little girl, as I told you, Maggie. Okay, so she was it is the story of a little girl Maggie, and the an unidentified poor woman dies from excess consumption of alcohol. So what happened? The mother of Maggie. Okay, so the mother of Maggie, she died. Why she died? Because of excessive consumption of alcohol. Okay, because of intemperance. Okay, because of intemperance she died. Okay, because intemperance means because of excessive consumption of alcoholic stuff, all this toxic stuff. Okay, so due to consumption of these toxic stuff, she died one day. Okay, so so the village had outcast her due to addiction. Okay, and due to this addiction of alcohol, okay, the all the village members outcast her. Okay, means uh, she is not living in a blaze. She live out of the blaze. Okay, in a broken hovel, in a broken hovel. She lived in a broken hovel. Okay, so first of all, let it told you. Uh, so okay, further I told you. So due to excessive consumption of alcohol, she died one day, and due to this habit, the other members of the blaze outcast that women and their children, okay, their kids, okay, from the blaze. Now she live outside of the blaze in a broken hovel. Okay, so when that woman died, okay, when the mother of Maggie died, okay, so the villagers felt sympathetic, okay, to her death. Means the pity is organized. The plant of pity is growing in their heart, okay, in the villagers' heart, okay, and they decided to go to the funeral, to do a well funeral with all the like ceremonies, okay, and uh, did a good funeral of that woman. Okay, though she was not a good woman, but then also because of her children, all the members of the village felt pity on her. Okay, due to her children. Okay, so hence they arrange a proper funeral for her. So they arrange a well mannered funeral for that woman. Okay, though she was not a good woman, she was not a good lady, then also they came and they organized a good funeral for her. Why? Because they are doing because of that women's children. Okay, because their children, her children was very innocent. So all the villagers got pity on those children, and that's why they did a good funeral of that lady. Okay, so that women had three children. Now we discuss about the kids. So the women who used to consume a lot of alcohol, the name is not discussed here. Okay, so that woman who died, she died by leaving her three children. Okay, so the first one was John. Okay, so first one was a boy. The name of that boy was John. Okay, the first child of that lady, who was 12 years old, approximately 12 years old. Next was the girl, that is Kate. The name of that girl was Kate. Okay, so she was 10 to 11 years old. How much years old? 10 to 11 approximately. And the smallest one, the youngest one, was a girl, Maggie. She was also a girl. The name of that girl was Maggie. Now, this John and Kate, since John is the elder, okay, John is elder among both the girls. Okay, then Kate is the middle one, and smallest one was Maggie. Okay, so John and Kate, they both are healthy children. They both are healthy children, but the girl Maggie, okay, she was physically ill. Okay, she was physically ill, means when she was young, when she was more younger than now. Okay, then she fall from a window. She fall from a window and fall from a so she fall from a window, and her spinal cord is broken totally. Okay, what happened? Her spinal cord was broken totally, and this made her a bedridden. Okay, so the eldest son was John, who was 12-year old. Okay, so who adopt him? A farmer. Okay, a farmer decided to adopt the eldest son. The name of that son was John. Okay, who was 12 years old. The farmer name is Farmer John. The farmer name is not discussed here. Okay, next was a next was Kate. So Kate was adopted by Mrs. Alice. Okay, so she adopted Kate. Okay, who was the middle girl. Okay, around 10, 11 years old. okay, 10 years old. So Mrs. Alice adopt that girl. Farmer Joe farmer thought that when he grown up, so he helped me in my farming works. Okay, that's why he adopted the eldest one, because he was the eldest one, na. The that John was the eldest one, who was he was 12 years old. That's why farmer adopt him by thinking that he can help me in the in this farming work. And Mrs. Alice adopt because uh, Kate can help. Kate is able to help. She is capable. She is having the tendency to help in the factory of Mrs. Alice. That's why she adopted the Kate, the middle one. Now there is uh, now who's young, okay, to work in any factory. So she complained of her being undisciplined. Okay, now Maggie was left alone. She was left alone, all alone. Okay, due to her poor health. Because of her poor health, what happened to Maggie when she was very young? Okay, young, when she was very young, so she fall from a window. Okay, she fall from a window and broke, and due to that accident, her spinal cord had broken up. Okay, and that's why she got permanently bedridden. Okay, she got permanently bedridden. She cannot walk. She cannot walk alone. Okay, she always lie down on the bed. Okay, and she cannot do any work by herself. Okay, so uh, the spine of that girl Maggie is damaged totally. Okay, thus she was permanently a bedridden, as I told you. Okay, so everyone suggests sending her to the poorhouse. Now no one uh, adopt Maggie. Why? You know the reason, because she was a bedridden girl. Now this is a tough work uh, to did all the things, to do all the work of that girl. She is having many works, a person having many works. Okay, so she cannot walk by herself, so someone always has to near that girl to did the work. Okay, her work. So that's why no one was ready to take Maggie, because Maggie was a bedridden girl. So no one take her to her or his house. Now someone, okay, everyone suggests her to send to the poor house. Poor house is a house where the where the poor, needy child lives. Okay, the thought who are totally poor, they live. Okay, so someone send Maggie to the poor house. However, no one makes an effort to do something about it. No one bother to do anything about Maggie. Okay, means they are not having a pity, okay, on Maggie. uh, Pity means they are not having uh, they are not saying, no one is saying that I took Maggie, or I took Maggie. Okay, no one was saying that. So everyone was taking Joe and Kate. No one taking effort to take Maggie. Okay, so after the funeral, everyone leaves without even a glimpse at Maggie. Means without any bother about Maggie, they went out after the funeral. Okay, everyone leaves the hovel. Okay, however, Joe Thompson lingers. Joe works as a wheelwright in the village. So Joe Thomson, the name of this is the name of a fellow who works as a wheelwright. The work of Joe Thomson was, he was a wheelwright. Okay, in the village. So he makes the wooden wheels. Okay, for weapons and for wagons and carts. Although he looks to be a rough man, he was looking like a cold man. Okay, but he's kind and loves children. He loves children. Okay, he loves children. To his disgrace, he and his wife are incapable to have kids because of some disease, because of some issue. They are not having their children. Means Mr and Mrs Thompson. Mrs Thompson was the wife of Mr Thompson. Okay, the name of Mrs Thompson is Jane Thomson. Okay, what is the name of the Mrs Thompson? Jane Thomson. and that Mr Thompson, Joe Thompson. Okay, so Joe Thompson and Jane Thomson, the couple are not having any child. They're childless. They both are childless. Okay, so so just leave this part first. Let's explain. So everyone leaves Maggie in that horrible, but only the first man, only the last man that that stay there was Joe Thompson, Joe Thompson. Okay, Mr Thompson. So he stay there and just pondering that whether I took Maggie or not. What happened to this girl? What if I took her in my house? So what was the what will be the reaction of my wife? Okay, and this that these questions are arising in his mind. Okay, then he decided to take Maggie. Finally, he decided to take Maggie. Means he said, okay, I saw what will I will see what will happen. Okay, so let it take this child. She is poor, and so means she. What is the character of Mr. Thompson? He is a kind-hearted person. So he took a Maggie in her uh, in her chest. Sorry. With he hold Maggie with his hands and just take her outside the harbor and band and go near to his house. Okay, to his own house. Who? Mr Thompson. Okay, now what happening when Mr Thompson reached home. Okay, when Mr Thompson reached home, so he was just pondering that what will be the reaction of my wife. Okay, so let it tell you the character of her wife, of his wife. Okay, character of his wife. So his wife, that is Jane Thomson, Mrs Thompson, she was her behavior was cold. Cold means her behavior was rough. Okay, she was not a pity woman. Okay, she always used to cry, she always used to shout, she always used to means speak and shout on the Mr Thompson. She's means she's looking like that she lived frustrated. Okay, she always, her behavior was always all the time rude. Okay, she never talked prettily, she never talks like nicely, she never smile. Okay, she always lived like a furious woman. She's very furious woman. Okay, so when Mr Thompson reached home, so when Jane Thomson, okay, stop Mr Thompson and ask why you who is she. So he asked she is Maggie and this that. Okay, so Mrs Thompson said why you bring this in means physically ill girl in our house. Okay, just send immediately, just rush and send her to the poor house. Okay, so Mr Thompson saying, okay, so so he said, Mrs. Thompson said that go and send this girl to the poor house. Okay, she want to get rid of of Maggie. Okay, so the character of Mrs. Thompson was rude. Okay, was cold. Okay, she was not having pity. Okay, so the reason of behind her this behavior. Okay, listen carefully, I'm telling you. The reason of behind her this behavior was childless. She was not having any child, so because of this problem, she lives very frustrated, very much annoying, very much like always on the mountain. Okay, always speak rudely, always means lack of pity and all these things. Okay, so she was because of her childless, she is not able to control herself and speak without seeing and without pondering. Okay, means she lives very frustrated. So see that his husband to get rid of her at the earliest, means he said to the Mr Thompson to get rid this Maggie and send it to the poor house as soon as possible. So in answer he says that he had read many a time in the Bible. Listen this line carefully, it can be a question. Okay, so he had read many a time in the Bible that people helping children shan't be unrewarded. Okay, means he said, con, who said? Joe Thompson. Okay, Joe Thompson said that those who uh, means he said that did you saw in the Bible that Bible says that those who help children, the poor, especially the poor children who are mentally physically ill, so God shower the love on them. Okay, the God shower the love on them. So this line was said by Mr Thompson to the Mrs Thompson. Okay, so he said that did you don't remember, are you don't remember that what is written in the Bible? The Bible said that those who love children, God reward him with shower of love. Okay, so Joe and Joe also requests her to put aside the bitterness of her heart. Furthermore, he asked her to look at the pity condition of Maggie. He said, Joe Thompson said to Maggie, to Mrs. Jane Thomson, that just to finish this bitterness, okay, which is inside you, and just ponder about Maggie. She's so innocent. See her innocent face and just see the condition. First of all, see the condition of Maggie. Okay, just have some pity. Okay, so she is motherless. She is not having her mother. Her mother is died now. She is in, we can say, she is in so Mr. Thompson said that she is motherless, homeless. She is in trauma now. Okay, she is in a big trauma because she lost her mother. She lost her brother and sister. Okay, she lost her horrible, all the things she lost. Okay, she is a bedridden first of all. Okay, she is in a big trauma. Just ponder about her girl first. Okay, and she is permanently bedridden. So what is the condition of this girl? So just have some pity on that girl. Okay, on this girl. So although Mrs Thompson doesn't say anything to her husband, her heart melts a little for Maggie, though she does not utter anything uh, to about the Maggie, but it is seen by her eyes, by her face, that her heart is melting somewhat, little bit melting about Maggie by listening, by hearing the conditions of Maggie by Joe Thompson. Jane Thompson's heart was somewhere melting. Okay, so Joe tells his wife that he will make errands the next day to send Maggie to the poorhouse. Then he leaves for work. Okay, so Mr. Thompson said that yes, tomorrow I shall send Maggie to the poorhouse. Okay, and then I shall go to my work. Okay, so, however, later in the night, he sees Mrs. Thompson sitting by Maggie's bed. Okay, means later night, means half night. Okay, on that night. Okay, on that night, Mr. Thompson saw that Mrs. Thompson, that is Jane Thomson, was sitting near to the bed of Maggie. She was sitting near to Maggie and talking about Maggie. Okay, rather Maggie is answering Mrs. Thompson's question. So okay, so she was answering all the questions which was asked by Mrs. Thompson. Okay, he felt the need to keep the matter of Maggie aside. Thus, he chosen to remain quiet on this matter. So, Mr. Thompson don't want to interrupt. They don't want to interrupt both of them. So so he slept. Okay, he slept and they both, Mrs. Thompson and Maggie, was talking. Okay, Mrs. Thompson was questioning and she was answering. Maggie was answering her questions. Okay, so he goes to see Maggie and the theme for a bit while having supper. Supper means the dinner. Okay, the food that is at night. Okay, so he goes to see Maggie and the theme for a bit while having supper. Miss Thompson asks her husband as to what he's going to do with the child. Okay, so he goes to see Maggie because she can't walk, so she is not having because she can't walk, so Mrs. Thompson have to serve the supper to the Maggie by herself and send to her room. Okay, Mrs. Thompson. So when they both Mrs Thompson and Mr Thompson was having supper at night. So they was so Mrs Thompson, okay, that is Jane Thomson. I'm telling you the name of Mrs Thompson that you can't like confuse among the Mr and Mrs. Okay, so Jane Thomson said, asked to her husband, as so she asked that what you're going to do with the Maggie. Okay, what you're going to do with Maggie. Joe tells that he would let her go to the poorhouse. He sent to the poorhouse by tomorrow. Okay, so Mrs Thompson does not utter a word. She does not say anything. However, Joe noticed that years of bitterness has finally begun to fade off because of Maggie. Okay, the bitterness of Mrs. Thompson, the cold behavior of Mrs. Thompson. Okay, that is from that is from the years. Okay, that is from the years is now melting because of Maggie. Just because of Maggie, because Maggie is growing the plant of love in the heart of Mrs. Thompson. Somewhere Maggie is the reason of her bitterness melting. Okay, so she takes food for Maggie into her small room and wait for her to finish it. And she take food. She Mrs. Thompson, Jane Thomson took the supper to the room of in the room of Maggie. Okay, she took the supper in the room of Maggie. Okay, and wait till she did not finish it. Okay, the innocence, sweetness, unconditional love and gratitude of Maggie for them fills the gap that had been created in Mrs. Thompson's heart. Means that rudeness, that gap which was empty from the centuries, means from the years. Okay, that is filled by Maggie, by her innocence, sweetness, unconditional love, and gratitude. So all the things, all the behavior of the Maggie fills the heart of Mrs. Thompson. Okay, so Mrs. Thompson's she tells Joe about her desire to keep Maggie for a couple of days more. So she told Mr. Thompson that she wants to keep Maggie for more days. Okay, so why she said this? Because she is having now, she's somewhere. She is treating Maggie like her own child. Why? Because of her innocent, because of her innocent face, because of her talking way. Mrs. Thompson loves Maggie. Okay, so however, that day never came. They remained together forever as a family. Means that day, that particular day when Maggie will be sent to the poorhouse, that day will never come. Why? Because she melts the heart of Mrs. Thompson, Jane Thomson. Okay, Maggie melts the heart of Jane Thomson, and now they thrice Maggie, Mrs. Thompson, and Mr. Thompson. They live like a family uh, for the infinite day. Okay, so who melts the heart of Mrs. Thompson? Obviously, Maggie melts the heart of Mrs. Thompson. Maggie was an angel who came in the house of Mrs. Thompson to fill the house with the happiness and with the peaceful, with the easefulness. Okay, so Maggie was the angel. Okay, so this is the story. Now, what is the conclusion of An Angel is Described? The story gives a strong message that love can conquer anything in the world. Unconditional love can soften even a stone-hearted person. Means love is the one thing which can melt everything. Everything means everything, whether it is a stone, whether it is a rock as well. A love can melt everything. Okay, so love have that infinite power which can melt everything. So Maggie's love, Maggie's innocence, Maggie's condition, okay, Maggie's way of talking changed the life of Mrs. and Mr. Thompson totally. Okay, now they are living like a family. Okay, they live like a family for a, for the infinite day. Always they living like a family. Okay, now Mrs Thompson got her child in a form of Maggie. Okay, and Maggie got her parents, okay, in a form of Mr and Mrs Thompson. Now all that bitterness, okay, it's faded. The love of Maggie is faded, all the bitterness of Mrs Thompson. Okay, so this is the story, all story. Who is the angel of um, disguise? Maggie is the angel of disguise. Okay, who changes the whole structure of the behavior of Mrs Thompson. Okay, so the love of Maggie changes the all the structure of Mrs Thompson. Okay, so the reason of her this in this behavior is is because of her childless. Okay, because Mrs Thompson was childless, that's why she treated everyone like this. Okay, because she was childless. Now she is having Maggie as a child, so she lives very happily. Okay, so Maggie changes all the behavior of Mrs Thompson, Jane Thomson. Mr Thompson is Joe Thompson, and Mrs Thompson is Jane Thomson. Understood the name? Okay, so Maggie changes all the life of both the couples. Now they, three of them, the both couple and Maggie lives like a family. They're living the life of easefulness. Okay. Now Maggie have their parents, and those both fellows have their child as a form of Maggie. So Maggie came in a form of angel to fill the house of Mrs. and Mr. Thompson with love. Okay, and with and changes to the behavior of Mrs. Thompson. Okay, Mrs. Thompson was saying that we will send Maggie tomorrow, tomorrow, and that tomorrow will, that exact tomorrow will never come in their life, and Maggie lives forever. Okay, in their house. Okay, and fill their both couples life with happiness. Okay, so this is a beautiful story. How beautiful it was! Wow, I am amazed. Okay, so just read the story by yourself. I just told you the summary. Okay, just read the story as well. So, and we know the conclusion as well, as I told you previously. Okay, and as I told you here only. Now let's see some question answers of angel in disguise. Let's ponder about the things. Let's ponder about the answering of these questions. So I told these are some homework question. Okay, so let's discuss first these homework questions. Okay, let's discuss first these homework question, then you have to do them. So first question is, how Maggie's mother died. Is she a good lady? If not, so what was the reason being an intemperance of her? So due to excessive consumption of alcohol. Okay, the Maggie's mother died due to excessive consumption of alcoholic stuff. Okay, no, she was not a good lady because she used to drink a lot of alcoholic beverages. This is the accurate answer of this question. Okay, so next question is, how many kids were that lady have after her death? Who took them? So that lady have three kids. Okay, how many kids? Three kids. The first one was a boy. Okay, the first one was a boy, that is John, who was 12 years old, who was adopted by Farmer Jones. Next was the Kate, who was 10-year old, 10 to 11 years old, which she was adopted by Mrs. Alice, and Mr. Thompson adopted Maggie, who was the smallest one, youngest one, who was approximately 8 to 9 years old, not more than that. Okay. So, what is the condition of Maggie? Third question. Third question is, what is the condition of Maggie? What was happened to her that she was in this condition? So, the Maggie condition was very critical because she lost her spinal cord is broken up. Okay, when she was uh, younger. Okay, when she was more younger than now, then she fall from a window and lost her spinal cord had broken up. Okay, that's why she was in this condition. She cannot walk alone. She cannot sit alone. She is a totally a bedridden girl. Next question is who supported Maggie? Why? So who supported Maggie? Tell me who supported Maggie? Mr. Thompson supported Maggie. Why? Because no one is bothering about Maggie since she was bedridden. So he had some pity on Maggie and he took Maggie to his house. Okay. Next question. What was the reason behind Mrs. Jane Thomson's cold and rude behavior? What is the reason? Because of her childless. She was not having any child. This is the reason behind Mrs. Jane Thomson's cold and rude behavior. Okay. And this is the reason of her bitterness because she was not having any child. She is childless. Okay. Next question. Who changed the behavior of Mrs. Thompson? How? Maggie changed the behavior of Mrs. Thompson with her innocent face, with her kind innocent eyes, and with her innocent condition. Okay. So next question is how Maggie proved an Angeline Miss Thompson's house because Maggie fills their house with happiness because she not only changed Mrs. Thompson's behavior but also bring a rain of happiness in their house. Okay. Eighth question is where Jane was saying to send Maggie. So Jane was saying to send Maggie in the poor house. No, she was not successful to send Maggie into the poor house because after a couple of time she uh, Maggie melts her behavior. Okay, her rude and cold behavior by her innocence. Okay. Ninth question. Who was the youngest daughter of that lady? Give an introduction of the girl. Why no one wants to take her? Obviously, we know that Maggie is the youngest daughter of the lady. Okay. She was a bedridden girl. Okay. Maggie was a bedridden girl. She was 10 years old. Okay. She is the smallest girl among her brother and sister. Okay. When she was more younger than now. So she got injury in her spinal cord. Okay, this is the introduction. Okay, because she was a bedridden girl, that's why no one wants to take her. 10th question is why no one, this is no one. Okay, no one, why no one was bothered about Maggie? Because she was a bedridden girl so no one was bothered about Maggie. They was thinking that who will take care of this bedridden girl. Okay, it will be more effort, it will take more effort to take care of bedridden girl, a physically ill girl. Okay. Question 11 is describe the change which is seen in Jane Thomson in the beginning and the end of the story. Okay. And question 12 is how did she get rid of these bitterness? So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 is done by you. Okay, you need to tell all the answers of the question by in your own words. Okay, you have to tell all the answers of all the questions by yourself. Okay, I'm just telling you some questions, these 10 questions only. Now 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 was done by you, and not only 11, means 1 to 15 will be done by you all guys. Okay, so tell me your own opinions, okay, about these this particular questions. Ponder about the answering of these questions. Okay, and just tell me how was the story. Okay, I hope this was so nice. Okay, and yeah, sorry for so that's it for today. Okay, and if you love it, so don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Okay, and subscribe my channel if you didn't do it yet. And yes, if you are having if you heard any sound, so just ignore that and listen my sound as I told you always. Okay, so And that's it for today. Okay, and have a good day. Bye bye. So um, just read the story once again by yourself. I told you all the summary. Okay, so that's it for today. And if you love it, so don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe my channel, press the bell icon. Bye bye. Stay tuned for more videos and for more study stuff. Okay, for class 9th and 10th. Okay, so this particular story is for not only 9th and 10th, but a common person also hear it. Okay, this is very beautiful. I love it. So this is written by T.S. Arthur. Okay, Timothy Shaw Arthur. So we saw each and every word of the story. Okay, a summary of the story. Just now you need to read the story at once. Okay, because it is impossible to take all the story. It is very lengthy. Okay, it is very vast story. That's why it is impossible to take all the story. So I just tell you the summary. Now you can do the question and answers. Just you need to read once more the story. Okay, and so yeah, that's it. Bye bye, and stay tuned for more videos. And if you love it, so don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe my channel, press the bell icon. Bye guys.